Now, give us a little sense of what you're seeing and hearing right now and what these last 5 days have been like.
Yes, well, I'm not in Kyiv at the moment. I'm in the western Ukraine in a location that I don't want to disclose due to security concerns. And actually what we are seeing here in the western Ukraine is a massive influx of internally displaced people who are living, the areas where the military action is currently taking place. And in my house, we're also hosting 6 internally displaced people. Some more have to arrive today. So massive effort, to help evacuate civilians and to help them when they evacuate, also refugees on the border. But at the same time, heavy fighting is going on in central and in southern and in eastern Ukraine, around Kharkiv, around Kyiv. Kharkiv was targeted today by Russian artillery. For the first time, civilian houses were targeted on such a massive scale. Ukrainian government reports there are at least dozens of casualties. We don't know the exact number now. And also military specialists, they say that cluster munitions were used by Russia to cause a massive, civilian loss of life. And that was happening as Ukrainian and Russian delegation were meeting somewhere at Ukraine-Belarus border, so Russia is clearly escalating the stakes. It's showing that it's ready to go, after civilian population, to indiscriminately shell and kill Ukrainian civilian population. So the situation is really very dire, and it's very dire for civilians who are not able to leave the cities that are currently under shelling. There are limited options of them to move on the road. The roads, there is a traffic, the roads are clogged, there are not enough trains. So the situation is pretty dire on the ground.
Understanding that, is there anything that you see additionally that can be done by NATO, that can be done by Western countries, can be done by the United States to help what we've known all along was likely going to be a refugee situation that could approach well into the millions?
Well, additional assistance should be provided to Ukraine. We are already facing food shortages in some areas in Kharkiv region. Also in Kyiv, in the capital, millions of people, live there, could be affected by this. There are also fuel shortages. So I don't know how it could be implemented, but it's like some kind of corridor should be established to provide, food and fuel and necessary also medicines to those areas affected. The Ukrainian hospitals are struggling with the influx of injured people, and there is a massive effort inside Ukraine of people from different parts of the country not affected by the war action to send medicines to those parts that are affected. But it is not enough. We also need supplies from abroad. We need an international humanitarian effort, and at the same time, more pressure should be put on Russia in order to stop this indiscriminate killings of the civilian populations. The sanctions are great. What has been applied so far is really very impressive. We appreciate that in Ukraine, but there are still other options to explore, such as sanctioning Russian energy and gas sector in order to stop to cut access to funds to continue this war.
Olga Tokariuk.